Hi, so it's James here, and today I'm joined with Dan Grant from FatRank. And today's video is the benefits for clients to move over to a fixed rate monthly retainer. Dan, why is it that we try to push after been working with us, let's say 3, 6, or maybe even 12 months, why we try to move them over to a monthly retainer?
Yeah, so once clients obviously start to see the benefits of what we do with the lead generation we offer them and they start to pay per month, personally I've had some situations where my clients obviously paying the odd £300 a month and £600 a month, and you start to see each month that there's kind of an average that's coming in. Sometimes it might land at like £500 a month average, sometimes close to 1,000 or 2,000, obviously depends on the industry and the client. When it gets to that kind of amount, obviously each month we're then chasing that client up to say, hi, hope you're well, whereabouts are you up to with payment? We obviously don't want to mire the clients, we don't want to add any extra time to their day, to try and find, which jobs they've converted. Some people do spreadsheets that can be quite time consuming. And generally, I think when it gets to that average, it's obviously better mutually for both parties to just have that monthly retainer set up. With that as well, obviously, in the same way that our lead generation is, there's no kind of a set contract with that. So say they're on a £500 retainer, we can obviously revisit that in 6 months, as you mentioned previously when we were discussing prior to the call. And what we can do is essentially get it to a point where we say, okay, you spent a bit too much over this last 6 months, we'll refund you slightly, or the next month's going to be free. So we can do all that as well. But what it generally means is it gives us a bit more freedom to have a bit more time to spend on the websites, and obviously to optimize them and maybe even build out brand new websites for the client as well. So it does give us that bit more freedom and time to actually generate the more leads long term. We do find typically that our clients that are on monthly retainers are generally the ones that are kind of doing the best and the most successful with the site. So it definitely is a model that we like to move people into for that reason.
Yeah, I think the big one is a consistent flow of payments coming in. It allows us to put a strategy together. So when we know that, let's say it's going to be a fixed rate of £1,000 a month, because 1 month you spent 500, then it's 2 grand, then it's 1,200, then it's 800, then it's 1,400. If you just turn around and go, right, okay, let's pay a fixed rate of 1,000. Now we can still look at the numbers over 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months. And if you're winning way more work than £1,000 a month, and you should have been paying us 1,500 a month, we can sort the discrepancy out at the end of the year and saying, okay, we underpaid by £2,000, and then that month, the 13th month, we could invoice the 1,000 plus the 2 discrepancy, and then it's fine. Or the other way around, if you're spending £1,000 a month, and then at the end of the year you work out that you should have only paid us 9,000 and we owe you 3,000, well, we can either give you 3 months, the first 3 months for free, or we can then turn around and then refund you the £3,000. There's no problem with doing that. It's not that we're trying to now turn the model and change the model that you don't pay out of your winnings. You still get guaranteed a return on investment, but it just allows us to get that consistent payment coming in, to put a strategy together to be able to grow existing sites, or it might even be new sites that we build out as well for secondary keywords and other different services or products that you might be looking to sell. I think the other big part as well is, like you said, it's the time involved in month by month chasing up what we need to invoice, because if they turn around and we're chasing up on the 27th of the month, but they're going, oh, we're waiting for a payment, for this client, and it only comes in on the 28th, and it goes at the month after, and it means that 1 month it's 200 and then it's 2,000. For us, there's just no continuity in place. We need to have something in place that we're looking at the averages. We work with you, so it might be for some clients it's only £500 a month. For some it might be £4,000 a month, just depending on where it's at and what budgets they've got that they're willing to put that in. Because another part is some customers, actually our best customers, do actually say, do you know what, the average might be 500, but I'm willing to pay 800 because I know over the year things are going to grow, and over the 12 months I'm happy to put £800 a month in now, which means that they might be paying a little bit extra at the start of the year, but towards the end of the year they probably should have been spending 1,200. That average then would be over the 12 months, right, you've paid exactly what you should have been paying. Yeah. Plus that £800 a month now today allows us to scale the sites out faster or build more sites. So it's not just looking at, all right, we have converted 5 jobs and we owe you £450. If you're able to pay that extra, which is kind of added to your balance and credit system, then with the balloons, then it allows us basically to turn around, like you said, reinvest it. We're not looking to charge more for us to make more profit initially. What we want to do, the first probably 5 years, we make zero on the sites because we want to reinvest every single penny to go back into the site, to rank for more keywords, to generate more inquiries, so that customers are getting a consistent flow of quality inquiries that are coming through. And even when we're ranking number one for them all, we can build a second website and a third website. We can look at new locations. There might be new products or services that they might have. So it's very important, I feel, for all customers to understand that moving to this monthly retainer saves you money, saves you time for us having to chase you up month by month, and saves us time, which then allows us to put some strategies together to be able to hopefully year on year us keep trying to build it out.
Yeah.
Is anything further on that for you, that you might want to expand on?
Yeah, I was just going to say as well that obviously from our perspective, we don't want companies to be paying out money that they don't have. So obviously in a case of someone wanting to invest a bit more into it, obviously that generally works really well and they end up finding that they earn a lot more money by doing that. But for some companies that, are earning, say like it was the 400, 600, 400, 600, and we sit in the middle of 500 on a retainer, that kind of setup is obviously, it's fair because it's what they're actually making from their profits. And we'd never be in a position where we'd say, okay, you're earning some money with us, you need to pay £1,000 a month when they're just not earning that. We never want to charge a client for services that they're not earning anything from. We're not like other marketing agencies in that regard. So we want to make sure there always is a return on investment for the clients, that they're always really happy with, the inquiries that are coming in. And obviously when we're invoicing them, they have earned that to pay it, if that makes sense. But at the same time, when you are kind of dealing in averages like that and you want to kind of get it to that set now, it just gives us that consistency and that platform to build on, as you said, to actually expand and grow and generate the more inquiries moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're right in what you're saying. We want to make certain that all the customers are getting a guaranteed return on investment. That's kind of our USP, that we're not charging upfront for leads. We're not paying if they don't. We're not charging on a pay-per-lead model, and Donald Duck comes through, and we're still charging them the money. They have to convert those leads and make it into profit. It is though very important for customers to understand that if they are spending money elsewhere, maybe on PPC or with Bark or with Checker Trade or with Yellow Pages advertising or magazines or billboard advertising or wherever it is that they might be spending other money on advertising, if they're not seeing a return on investment on that and they can spend some of that money that they're spending there and put it into us, it sits as a credit system. So it is important for the customers to understand that we're not asking to pay an extra £300 a month. If they can't afford it, they don't need to. But if they can afford it and they can take some budget from elsewhere, knowing that this gets them a guaranteed return on investment, then at that point, it just allows us to scale things out much faster for the client. So anyone who has got the email to say, why don't we move over to a monthly retainer? This is why we're asking it. Hopefully it saves you time, it saves us time, and it allows us to put a strategy to get together that allows us to scale the leads out for you to get you a more consistent flow of quality inquiries, which hopefully means you make more profit, which indirectly then means that we would make a percentage of your profits and us make more profit.